Hello, my Z followers, and welcome back to the question where you have the questions and I have the answers. And I know last time I said I would not make a video about the coronavirus pandemic, but here we are. Y'all have requested it, so now y'all are gonna get the answer. So basically, the question is, what are my thoughts on this worldwide pandemic? First of all, they're gonna cancel the Olympics, and I'm very upset by that. No, okay, so I don't know. I don't have a lot of thoughts on it. I'm not entirely invested. Obviously I get updates and I'm aware of what's going on and whatever, but it doesn't seem like too bad. Like, even though people are dying and this pandemic is crazy and people are freaking out and buying a bunch of toilet paper and countries are going on to lockdown, it really hasn't hit me yet. Like, I think with my generation at least, it's not really that big a deal to us. Like, it really hasn't hit us. Like, that's not our reality. That's not something that we're worrying about, really. I know, some people are, obviously, but really it's just more trying to figure out what's happening with our schools and what's happening with us and with our lives and how it's going to affect us in the long run is really what we're trying to figure out. Because obviously you've heard on the news that a bunch of teenagers are not social distancing, they're not quarantining and whatever, and everyone's just like, how stupid, how stupid can you be? You're gonna kill us all, you're gonna do this and you're gonna do that, how could you be so insensitive? And that's not really why we do it. It's like my generation is the depressed generation, so it's not really like we're gonna try and be rebellious and go and do all these things because people say we're not going to. It's that we literally do not care whether we die from this disease or not, which is really sad. And everybody's like, protect the elderly, protect your children, stay home, protect yourself, protect others. And it's not that we don't care about protecting others, it's just that we really do not care whether we die from this disease or not. We know we're going to die at some point. It's either going to be by a natural cause, this disease, or our own hand. So it's like, why not enjoy those last moments, kind of on Earth? Which is a really bad way to live, but honestly, even without this disease, how good of a chance could we have had? All of these bad things that are happening because of this disease are just, they were gonna happen anyway. That's really what comes down to it, is that everything that's happening, the stock market going down, the economy kind of just crashing, loss of jobs, elderly people dying, people with health conditions dying, it was all gonna happen anyway. And I'm not saying that what's happening isn't bad. It's really bad. It's absolutely horrible. But we can't act like it wasn't going to happen anyway. And that's the big thing, is with all of these deaths, they're acting and just reporting deaths anyway. How we treat death as a society, we act as if we're immortal. It's like we're applying Newton's first law to ourselves or whatever, or just any of Newton's laws to ourselves. Like, we're going to keep living until acted upon by an outside force, but it's not how it is. After the age 25, your body starts failing you. It starts degenerating, starts dying. You're gonna die anyway. And we're acting like we were acting like these old people were gonna live forever until this virus just killed them. But everybody's gonna die anyway, and it doesn't make it less sad, but I feel like we're overreacting just a tiny bit. Okay, more than a tiny bit, a lot of a bit. And yes, I know what our generation is doing is dangerous, not practicing social distancing. And everybody's like, well, why is it that when we want you guys to go outside, you guys are going to be on your phone? And now that we don't want you to go outside, you guys are going to go outside? Well, it's because a big thing. we are on our phones all the time because we have to see each other every single day. All of our friends we see at school every single day. You know, we're socializing with people every day. Now that schools are canceled and restaurants are closed and all this, there's no way to get, there's no reason, there's no force making us see people every day. So yeah, screens are great, but we still are used to seeing and being surrounded by loads of people every single day. For the first like 18 years of our lives, were spent in crowded classrooms, forcing ourselves to make friends and have these social dynamics, and now we can't have them. And while we're on our phone a lot, it's not the same as having that like face-to-face interaction. So I'm not saying that what my generation is doing is good. No, it's really bad. But I'm saying that it makes sense as to why they're doing it, and we shouldn't call it stupid because it's not stupid. They're reacting how they're gonna react because of how they've been treated, how they've been raised, how they've been socially sort of, uh, how they've been taught to act. Now, on a smaller scale, me personally, once again, it's not really, it hasn't really hit home that this is a thing that could kill me. I haven't gotten it. I know people who have caught it. I've interacted with people who I know have had it, but it hasn't really, like, stuck, you know? Me and my friends are more concerned about is the social dynamics. How's that going to change? Is any drama at school, how is that going to die down by the time we get back to school? If we get back to school, honestly, my generation is more concerned about how we're going to graduate, how are we going to finish this year of high school, how are we going to get our grades up, how are we going to do homework, how are we going to keep busy during this 6-week quarantine, possibly even longer quarantine if they shut down the state. That's what my generation is concerned about. It's not, do we have enough food? Are we gonna die? Can I catch this? Am I washing my hands enough? Are we disinfecting everything? That's not what we're concerned about. We're concerned about what we've always had to be concerned about because we haven't experienced the real world yet. This small high school, this sheltered construct, that is our world. So that's what we're going to care about. This big world hasn't done anything except laugh at us and just make fun of us and degrade us. So why should we care what happens to it? And I'm not saying that's my outlook. I'm just saying that that's the reality of teenagers and like people in their early 20s. That's what they're thinking during this epidemic. I said this as a joke because all the old people are catching this and dying. People are really concerned about that, but it's like the adults are concerned about it. The teens, I think, will mourn the loss of our elders, but honestly, that just means more freedom for us. All the boomers who have, like, made life so difficult for us. If they're dead, they're dead. Which is horrible, and it's terrible to celebrate the death of someone or to just not care that people are dying. That's terrible, but it's hard to care. It's hard to try and bring yourself to care when these people have been like so long been the enemy. You know, the enemy or the oppressors. It's hard. So I think, at least for me, that's what I've been thinking about. Obviously I've been keeping updated on the news, like, oh, this city's been closed off, this city's been closed off, they're gonna send in the National Guard to make sure people aren't out. Cause so I live in Washington. If y'all don't know, most of you probably know. So we're at like the height of the epidemic, in the United States, or like where the main focus is. And I don't know, it's like there's an underlying like different feel, and obviously I'm at home all the time, which is weird because it's like I do all these things, but it's like I'm not doing enough because I don't have that constant pace of high school. You know, because high school is overwhelming, but when it's not there, it's kind of like you're nothing. There's nothing to you except as a student at a high school. So now that you don't have that anymore, like what are you? What are you there to do? But it's like nothing's really changed except now you're nothing. You're nothing to yourself, you're nothing to anybody else. You're just gone. You know? It's like, what is there for you to do? And everyone says you should take up more hobbies. You should try to learn new things. Try and do this thing. Try to keep up on schoolwork. You know, homeschooling's gonna be the new thing. But it's like, there's nothing to do. And that's hard. It's gonna be hard for everybody, for different things. And it doesn't help that you have all these people saying, oh, you know, a 6 feet, you know, social distancing, quarantine yourself, try not to interact with like other people. But you have all the people on the news, you know, all of our politicians, our government officials who aren't doing that. You know, you still have the president holding press conferences. You still have the people in the news station, up at the news station, people mourning the oh-so landslide in large numbers. And so it's like you're yelling and you're lecturing and you're calling in the National Guard because a bunch of teenagers and people in their early 20s are off hiking and being active and being social at these beaches and trying to enjoy their lives. But you guys are allowed to do your work and be together for your reasons. You know, are you guys so far above us that we're expected to do this, but you're not? I understand that there is some differences, you know, because he's the president, the government officials, but you can broadcast from inside the White House. You don't have to hold a press conference. You guys can all FaceTime each other. That's what some of the news people are doing. They're just coming in from home. You guys can all video from home. You can mourn the Oso landslide from your damn houses. So don't go and lecture my generation for being social when y'all are doing the exact same shit. That's just something that I've been thinking, me personally. And that's about it. It hasn't really sunk in, you know, that it's bad, that it's a pandemic, you know, because like, what's my generation gonna do? We're making memes about it. Not even just my generation, every generation, you know. Every morning my mom has a different meme about it. And yeah, we're keeping to the news and we're like, oh my god, this is horrible. But honestly, at the end of the day, we're gonna laugh about it because to a point, it's hysterical. It's hilarious. It's funny how people react to these things. And because you have all these types of people who are like, you're not doing enough, you're doing too much, this is crazy, we don't believe this, we believe in it too much. And it's just humans reacting as humans do. And all you can really do is just sit back and try and live your day as normally as possible. You know, that's like what you do in every situation. If you're not part of like the if you're not part of like the government or the police or any hospitals, if you're not actively trying to help, you know, if you're not like a scientist trying to find a vaccine, if you're not this, you're not that, if you're not anyone of any significant importance, you just sit back and try and survive this. There's nothing really that you can do because there are systems in place to help, you know, hoarding food, and selling out everything so that people can't have it. That's stupid. Buying lots of toilet paper, stupid. Doing everything that we are doing to a degree is stupid and idiotic. But you can't fault them for it because they're people and that's how they're going to react. And I just wish that people who look at my generation and they're like, oh my god, they're going to get us all killed, how dare they, are judging us for reacting the only way we've been taught to react, doing the only thing that we've ever known to do, which is be social and fill our lives with so much nonsense that we can't even stop and think about what we're doing is right or wrong. Instead of just looking at us and judging us, look at us and then look at yourselves and think, what's a stupid thing that I'm doing? Am I really reacting the best way that I can react? Or am I doing something stupid like hoarding toilet paper or trying to keep my kids active and engaged in this bullshit of a school system that we have? Because I bet every single one of these citizens who, yes, have a right to feel what they feel, and they have every single right to be worried or scared and to panic, which is what everybody does in any sort of situation. Everybody's gonna panic because, yes, something bad is happening. Something terrible is happening. But as citizens, there's not that much we can do except to trust the people who do know what to do and trust that things are working. So yes, wash your hands, disinfect, sanitize, but you should have been doing those things already. Is the thing is, just because you're washing your hands now or disinfecting or washing everything and making sure everything is clean is not going to make the virus go away. And you can't keep acting like it is. The virus is already here. And cleaning your house isn't going to make it go away. Isn't going to kill it because we've never seen it before. Nothing that we have is going to kill it. Okay? Nothing we have is going to kill it because it's a virus. It's not like a cold. It's going to keep mutating, which is why the people who recovered from the virus are now getting it again because it mutates. And as we've established before, it mutates very quickly. Just like the Spanish flu. It's not as bad as the Spanish flu yet, but it could get there. So instead of worrying and worrying and worrying about how bad it's going to get, because stress and anxiety are going to make you more susceptible to getting any number of illnesses, just try and sit back and take this time to work on yourself and do things you never had a chance to do, And maybe going out and partying at the club isn't what you can do because local businesses are shut down. But, watch that show that you've watched before. Try and bake something. If you don't have any food to bake something, I don't know, try a new workout routine or learn a new skill. Maybe try ballet dancing. I've been trying to get back into gymnastics, which, oh my god, I am so out of shape for. But it's like, try and figure out you. Think about all the things you hated doing. And that's the thing. It was one of those, it's like absence makes the heart grow fonder. So now that say you hated your job, because I know I hate school. Not hate, but I dislike a lot of elements that play into the average American high school system. And now it's not here. It's been taken away. I've been out of school for a week now. And me and my generation, we are missing that social aspect of school. It's like we don't miss the classwork, we don't miss this, we don't miss that, but we miss that having to interact with people. We miss interacting with each other. So that's why we're trying to get together. And we need to realize that, okay, we missed that social aspect, so let's try and FaceTime each other or get together at each other's houses, not in a public place where people who aren't part of our party can get affected by what we're doing. You know, there are ways around it, but we need to take this time to not panic, because overall there's nothing we can do, and panicking is certainly not going to help. You just need to sit down and focus and try and better yourselves in ways that you need to better yourself. That is, I think, the longest video I've ever made, so I'm going to cut it short. I hope this video means something to you. I never planned on making it, but I didn't realize until I was talking how much of this is just a political thing, honestly. How much of just everything is a political thing. So if you have anything you want to say, please comment below. If you disagree with anything I've said, comment below. If you agree, comment below. If you have anything you'd want me to make a video on, comment below. I really do love hearing from you guys, and I feel like I don't hear from you guys enough. Like this video. Please share it with someone else who you think needs to calm their tits about this whole pandemic thing. And I love all of you. You know, stay safe. Don't go out unless you have to. But like, also, please exercise, keep in shape, try and be healthy through this whole thing. Don't eat your toilet paper. And I hope you guys do something fun over this quarantine period. Yeah, it's scary, but y'all can get through it. Y'all can handle it. The world has handled worse pandemics. I mean, we're saying it's a bad pandemic, but nothing can be as bad as the plague. Let's just say it right there. At least it's not as bad as the plague. Okay, so long, thanks for all the fish. Be excellent to each other and party on, dudes. Love you all.